Hey, you're watching Preppy Kitchen, where I, John Cannell, teach you how to make delicious homemade dishes to share with your family and friends. Today, it's an amazing chicken Alfredo that's packed with flavor, just a couple ingredients, comes together in a snap, and there's not even any heavy cream. It's a little bit lighter. Let's get started. Brian's mom's favorite dish is Alfredo, so my sister-in-law actually texted me because she's visiting, and she's like, you know, if you want, you could make some Alfredo for her. And I was like, yes, this will happen. She's gonna leave a happy camper. Let's talk about the chicken. You can buy some grilled chicken, you can grill your own, you can bake some chicken. I ended up just browning mine in a little bit of butter with salt and pepper, and then baking it until it's done through at 375. Cover it with foil while it's resting, and then come back to it like 20 minutes later. For this recipe, you can choose a pasta of your choice. I made a batch of fettuccine. Set a large pot of water to boil, salt generously, and then cook your pasta according to the directions on the package, unless you made your own pasta. Reserved 1 cup of that magical pasta water. If you make your pasta a little early, just add a dab of butter to it. That way it won't stick and it'll be delicious and ready for you when your sauce is done. Now, my recipe calls for 3 cloves of garlic, thinly sliced, so this is a whole conversation on my shrimp scampi recipe, but 3 garlic cloves. Let me know in the comments how many that equals for you. Remember once my friend Catherine was sharing that her husband had made dinner, and the recipe called for like 1 clove of garlic, but he was like a newbie, so he made the recipe with 1 head of garlic, and she was complaining, and I was like, that sounds about right to me. And also when I prep my garlic, I like to give it a little smash, and then that really releases the skin. It also kind of like wakes the garlic up and helps to release the oils. See, like you open a garlic clove up and it turns out there's 2 cloves in there. So what, are you gonna throw this away? Of course not, you're gonna use it in the recipe. 3 cloves has turned into 5 and there's no regrets. Give your garlic a thin slice, so we're gonna sliver it, and a sharp knife really helps for this. When you're cutting, you're gonna use your fingernail as a guide, so it's held with like the tips of your fingers vertically, and that way there's no finger chopping. We've sliced our garlic, and now I have 1 cup of shredded fontina cheese, and that's the sort of thing that you shred on your own. You don't buy shredded fontina. So let's shred it up. If we have a little bit more, that's totally fine. This is a really like nice gooey cheese. You're gonna love it in the sauce. Okay, so that's 1 cup of cheese. That's how you measure it. And the rest is for me to nibble on as we move through the recipe. Now we're going to go onto the burner. On a medium heat, we're adding about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, precisely measured, mind you. Let that heat up for a second. You'll see ripples on the surface of the olive oil. That's when you know it's ready. Anyone have a good method for getting that garlic smell off of your fingers? I'm asking for a friend. I saw there were these things that were like stainless steel bars of soap kind of. You're supposed to wash your hands with them afterwards, but I haven't been able to find them. I saw them in a catalog a long time ago. All right, so we see it sizzling. Just move it around the pan and stir frequently. Oh my gosh, it's so fragrant. I love the smell of garlic in the morning. Once your garlic is toasted, start adding in about 9 cups of spinach. It seems like a lot, but you know it'll all go down to nothing. That's good. Add in about 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes. That's optional. If you don't like any heat, you can omit them. Move it around, move it around. Whoa. What's going on over there? Hello. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is reminding me a bit of my spanakopita recipe. Click up here for that. That's a Greek spinach pie. I made it with my mom, and it is one of my favorite things to eat. It reminds me of my childhood. Okay, after your spinach is wilted, and the nice thing is the spinach is releasing water, and that's preventing the garlic from burning. So don't let the garlic get too brown before you add the spinach in, because while I love garlic, don't love burnt garlic. No, no, no. Okay, now we're gonna add our cup of cheese, as well as 4 ounces or like half a package of cream cheese. And in case you're wondering, yes, you can use the reduced fat version in this too. They both work fine. What you have to do now is just stir it until it's all combined. You're combining the cream cheese and the fontina, and look at this. This looks amazing already. So fast. And you know how you like buy all the salad greens? You're like, I'm gonna make salad every day this week. And then they go rotten and you're like, oh, those poor salad greens. Hello, toss them in here. So you have the option of like, you know what? No salad today, let's make an Alfredo sauce. Okay, we're reducing the heat all the way down to low. And at this point, we can add our pasta in batches. So start adding that pasta in a little bit at a time. I've started making really big batches of pasta because one of my kids, George, loves plain noodles. He's like, plain noodles, I want plain noodles. I'm like, okay, you get some plain noodles. So we're gonna keep adding this in. And you're like, oh my gosh, this pasta is getting really thick. What's happening? Well, aren't you glad that we reserved 1 cup of that magical pasta water? I bet you are. So now, a little bit at a time, you can lubricate this with the pasta water and it'll kind of like let everything come together and give you just the right consistency. You have total control now. And by the by, you can also add some black pepper to taste if you want. Okay, so just keep adding some more pasta until you're like, okay, that's enough pasta to sauce ratio for me. Once that's the case, we're gonna take this off the heat. And we're not done yet because to this, we're adding a 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt. Add the Greek yogurt, it's super creamy, and yes, we are making an Alfredo sauce without cream, and you can't tell the difference. This needs to get thinned out with some more pasta water. Switching to tongs. There we go, that's perfect. Yes. That tastes great, but I am gonna add in a little bit more pepper. I saw this pepper grinder at the store, by the way, and yes, I was like, oh, this copper's calling my name, but then I noticed it's a Greek pepper mill, and I was like, it was meant to be. I have to have it. All right, I'm just adding in a sprinkle more of salt. Now we're gonna plate this up with some chicken and enjoy. Making dinner and a YouTube video at the same time is one of my very most favorite things because it's like, oh, 2 birds, 1 stone, pow! I don't know if it's a rule, but I feel like you need to have a glass of wine with chicken Alfredo / any pasta dish. So I'm opening up a glass of white for this. We're gonna be enjoying it. And this is gonna be very good. And believe you me, I earned it. If you like this recipe, check out my savory playlist. All my savory favorites, so many great ideas for dinner, and they're all delicious. All right, time for a bite. That fresh garlic, the cheeses, everything works together and is just so simple. Sometimes the simplest things are best. If you like my videos, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.